I was not on the Lolita. Well, maybe I was. Okay, but it was just me a few 20 some odd times and Hillary a few times. But, well, and my friends, Andy, and Billy G. Billy G was there, and Chris, Kevin, and Naomi, and... Welcome back. Please like, subscribe, and share this video on other platforms. Thank you so much for doing that. And click the bell for notifications so that you'll be notified when I upload a new video. This is part 6 of JFK Jr.'s George magazine, February 1997, A Survival Guide to the Future. In today's video, I'll go over the article entitled Clinton's Reality Check. Let's roll. When Bill Clinton's plan for universal health care took a nosedive, it wasn't the first time he had to downsize a big idea. Here, those other notable flameouts. Clinton's Reality Check. Promise, 1993. Clinton taps a flamboyant utility executive, Hazel R. O'Leary, as Energy Secretary. She embraces industrial competitiveness as the new raison d'etre for the agency. I probably said that completely wrong. Shocking the department's nuclear old guard with hints that one of the nation's $3 billion nuclear weapons labs will be rededicated to environmental research. The best minds on the federal payroll will be devoted to the Infobon low-emission, high-mileage cars and alternative energy sources. Reality. The 104th Congress declares government-sponsored civilian research to be nothing more than corporate welfare. Clinton requests nearly $230 million during fiscal 1996 to team up with nuclear defense labs with the private sector on civilian projects. For 1997, the White House compliantly asks for just $49 million. Meanwhile, nuclear weapons research, considered an endangered Cold War relic in '93, is back in vogue. Outlook, 1997. The White House plans to budget roughly $4 billion a year on nuclear weapons research, more than the annual average during the Cold War, and the U.S. is no longer manufacturing new nukes. The funds will go to a pricey new suite of lasers, supercomputers, and atom smashers, which the administration says are needed to maintain the arsenal as the president pursues a nuclear test ban treaty. Clinton has renounced the conversion of a weapons lab for civilian use. Defense. Promise, 1993. Secretary of Defense Les Aspin declares that the plug will be pulled on the much-touted development of the Star Wars anti-missile system. There is talk of a bottom-up review to examine every aspect of the service in light of the new post-Cold War reality. There are intimations of a new cost-effective strategy called win, hold, win. Departing from the long-held notion that U.S. forces should be able to fight 2 regional wars at once, a new structure would be designed for fighting one war while holding another enemy at bay. Clinton also pledges to allow homosexuals to serve openly in the military. Reality. Even before the Republican congressional landslide of 1994, the administration's plans are pulverized. The bottom-up review leaves the defense structure largely intact. Gays can serve in the military, but only if they keep their sexual orientation to themselves. When the GOP takes over Congress in 1995, Clinton ups the 6-year Pentagon budget by $25 billion, but military brass maneuvers for $75 billion more. Congress tops it off with a few extra billion. And news of Star Wars' death proves premature. Congress doles out $746 million for the defense system in 1996. Outlook, 1997. Clinton and the Republican Congress have settled into a grudging stalemate. The White House has been able to block most GOP defense initiatives, such as committing to the deployment of a Star Wars system, renegotiating or abrogating the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty of 1972, resuming nuclear testing, and prohibiting the service of U.S. soldiers under United Nations command. But each year, the president grumbles and groans and then signs a defense spending bill he has threatened to veto as a budget buster. There is no reason to believe that this political dance will end soon. Housing. Promise, 1993. Henry Cisneros, the colorful former mayor of San Antonio, takes the helm of the troubled Department of Housing and Urban Development, pledging to revive not only the department but also the fated dream of urban renewal. President Clinton announces his economic stimulus package to pump nearly $3 billion into community development block grants and programs for the homeless, plus $867 million into public housing, construction, and renovation. Some projects may need to be torn down, the housing secretary says, but only as a last resort. When Cisneros suggests consolidating some HUD programs, liberals howl. The secretary quickly disavows such ideas as just rumors. Reality. Republicans put HUD on their hit list, with energy, education, and commerce departments. Clinton is willing to go along, but in a single weekend, Cisneros hammers out a radical restructuring plan to consolidate 60 housing programs, phase out 29 inactive programs, and shut down 37 others. HUD staff is to drop from 12,000 employees to 7,500 by 2001. In the new HUD, preservation is out. Demolition and crime fighting are in. In 1995, federal, state, and local police make 6,826 arrests in public housing, seize 558 weapons, and confiscate drugs worth nearly $3 million. And forget refurbishing those decaying public housing units. Blow them up. By the end of 1996, HUD dynamites 23,000 units. Outlook 1997. Cisneros has departed to the private sector, worrying many Democrats who believe that it was his resourcefulness that kept the agency alive. The revamped HUD will favor vouchers over traditional housing projects, but Republicans may not be willing to go along, even though the idea is one of Jack Kemp's favorites. Looming in the near future is a budgetary showdown over Section 8 certificates, which low-income recipients use to pay for private housing. In the coming few years, more than 700,000 Section 8 contracts will expire. Congress will either have to come up with billions to renew them or see what happens when tenants are forced to get by without the subsidy. Okay, that's about all of that, huh? Be sure to come back for parts 7, 8, and 9, where I'll cover articles regarding the future crisis, Social Security. See you then.